They say paranoia is just fear without proof. But what if you had the proof? What if someone really was watching you, following your every step, learning your routines, your habits, waiting for the perfect moment to strike? These are not just cautionary tales. These are 3 real stories. And if you're listening to this alone, you might want to check your windows. Story 1. This story was submitted by a woman named Leah, who worked nights at a hotel just outside Phoenix. Leah was used to quiet night shifts, just her, a few truckers, and the occasional guest. But one shift in October, she started hearing strange noises above her, like someone crawling. She dismissed it as rodents. But then the calls began. A voice would whisper her name from the hotel phone, but the number was always internal. No room number, just front desk. It escalated when she noticed her coffee mug had been moved slightly, then a pen. Then her phone charger disappeared entirely. One night, she heard a crash in the break room ceiling. When she investigated, a tile had fallen, and behind it was a crawl space, barely large enough for a man to fit. Police were called. They found evidence someone had been living in the vents, food wrappers, a flashlight, even a pair of binoculars. The man was never caught. But the scariest part? He had written Leah's full name over and over on the inside of the vent wall. Story 2. This story comes from 22-year-old Marcus, who rented the basement of a house in a quiet Michigan suburb. Marcus thought he'd scored a great deal: cheap rent, private entrance, no roommates. But he began to feel watched. At first, it was small, a feeling of unease, doors left open when he was sure he'd closed them. Then, things escalated. Late one night, he was gaming with headphones on when he saw movement on the security cam app on his phone. A figure slipping into the laundry room from inside the basement wall. Marcus froze. He quietly stepped into the hallway, phone in hand, recording. He found a hidden panel behind a water heater. Behind it was a crude tunnel. Someone had been sneaking into the house through old foundation gaps. They found sleeping bags, canned food, and a series of Polaroid pictures. All of Marcus. Sleeping, brushing his teeth, watching TV. The worst? One picture had a note attached. "You're more interesting when you're alone." Story 3. This story came from a nurse named Emily, who had just moved to a new apartment after a difficult breakup. She thought a fresh start would help. But something followed her. Emily began noticing the same car parked across the street, day after day. Black Honda, tinted windows, license plate covered in dirt. Then she began receiving flowers at work, unmarked but always the same type. Violets, her favorite, something only her ex knew. She filed a report, but police said there was no threat. Until one night when she came home and found her apartment door slightly ajar. Nothing was missing, but every cabinet was open, every drawer. That night, unable to sleep, she went to take the trash out and saw the black car again. Something told her to approach it. She peeked in the trunk. Inside was a sleeping bag, a bottle of water, a knife, and a picture of her, brushing her hair by the window. Police finally took it seriously. The car was registered to a man who'd never met Emily. He claimed to have been paid by her ex to watch over her. When they searched the man's phone, they found hundreds of photos, most taken from inside her apartment. Stalkers don't always look like monsters. They could be someone you know, or a stranger who's made you their obsession.